Today, I want to take you on a journey and I want to offer you a different way to think about reaching your goal. But I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to follow me on this journey as I show you and prove to you that it works. How's it going? Will here from Focus and Grit. And first of all, just welcome. Now, this is a video that I've been wanting to create for some time now. I didn't create it because you have to be when you get ready to do what I'm going to do, you have to truly be ready to commit to it, because if you don't, you're going to be one of those people who, like most, start something and don't see it through. Now, the reason why I'm taking you on this weight loss journey with me is because honestly, there's only two real things that I've really wanted that I haven't been able to accomplish in my life. And that was creating my very first product and getting it online, which I successfully done that. So I can't show you how I did that, but what I can show you is how I'm going to drop weight. Now, when I weighed myself earlier, the scale was fluctuating between 281 and 285. So let's just say that my current weight is 282, just to, 282.5, just to meet halfway in the middle. So that means that I'm going to be taking you on a journey with me, showing you my journey of losing weight. Now, I should say this because a lot of people I'm on a mission to prove that you don't have to believe you can do something to accomplish it. And I know that's probably completely counterintuitive to what you've been taught or what you believe or what you been raised on. But the reality is, for a long time, I struggled with going after the things that I wanted because I didn't believe I can do it. I subscribe to these belief systems that I have to believe I can do it before it actually become real. Or I have to believe I can do it before I can actually get it. And to a certain degree, it's true. Like you absolutely have to believe that you can afford to go out and buy, I don't know, a MacBook Pro before you can actually go out and buy a MacBook Pro. That part is true. But the part that I fail to realize, that maybe you fail to realize, is you don't have to believe you can do something just to get started. And that was an eye-opening moment for me when I realized that I don't have to believe I can create my own product to get started. I can just get started from where I'm at and just move through it. That honestly changed the game for me. Like, that's how I do everything in my world now. I don't, even if I don't believe I can do it, I just get started with it and I start moving through it. And psychology tells us that the more we do something, the more we quiet that little voice in our head that's trying to keep us stuck. And the more that little voice comes to see that, hey, maybe we really can do that. And over time, we actually believe we can do it. And it ain't too far after that that we actually accomplish our goal. Now, to bring this full story and to bring it back to the real world, so we're not off in some realm of theory or something that I've already accomplished, I want to lose no less than 80 pounds. Now, honestly, I'm struggling with between being at 190 and 200 because I honestly think I would look good at but like between 190 and 210. However, I know for a fact right now, I don't like the love handles that I have. I don't like the fact that I'm this big and I really don't have a chest. I don't like the fact that, well, I'm a fairly active person. So if I, climb up the stairs to the third floor, or if I'm at work and I gotta take some stairs, you're not gonna hear me winded like where I can't catch my breath or something like that because I am active. I'm just not in shape, if you will. So what I want to do is I want to show you how, honestly, I don't believe that I can have the dream body. This is something that I've tried to do millions of times at this point. I've at least attempted to do this on and off for the last 10 years. And I wasn't successful with doing it no time. And the reason why is because I thought I had to believe that I can do it. And just to give you some context, I don't believe I can do it now. I'm simply going through a process that I do. And if you want to learn more about the process and how I got to this point, you can follow the link in the description and it'll take you over to confidencestepbystep.com where you're able to input your email. And I'll walk you through the 3-part video that I've been using to be able to get this done, just to show that it actually works. Now, here's the deal. What I've learned is more times than not, to do the thing we need to do isn't that difficult. Meaning, if we want to learn how to drive a truck, it's not that difficult. We go take the class, we get in the truck, we learn how to drive it. If we want to lose weight, it's not that difficult. We go do the activities that we need to do to lose the weight. If we want to build a business, in my case, or go after that dream job, or whatever the case may be, it's really not that difficult. We know what to do. The problem is that voice inside of our head that stops us from believing in ourselves, believing that we can do it, or us not believing that it's going to work out for us, that prevents us from even trying or even trying to move forward with it. And that's what I want to tackle. I want to show you that a lot of, like, if you go online right now and say, okay, how do I lose weight? There's no shortage of videos with people telling you how to lose weight, how to have your dream body, how to get shredded, how to have your beach body, how to do everything. Yet people still fail to lose weight. And the reason for that is the same reason why people fail to hit their dream or fail to continue to do whatever it is they want to do. And that's because we don't deal with the war within. Once we understand that, we making a commitment to do something and we're doing it regardless, it don't matter, then it becomes this thing of, okay, now I just got to suffer through it long enough until I'm able to get some momentum going. Because make no mistake about it, me losing 80 pounds, 90 pounds, I have no illusions. That's going to be very difficult for me. I'm literally drinking my favorite drink right now off camera. I have no illusions about how difficult it's going to be. And I think that when you make a decision, because I used to think that you make a decision and you sell yourself on everything is going to be peaches and cream, it's going to be positive, it's going to work out in my favor, all that good stuff. And to a certain degree, you want to do that. However, what I've learned over time is when you make a decision, that decision shouldn't be predicated on if everything works out the way you want it to be. That decision should be based on no matter what lays before you, you gonna get it done. And that's the journey that I want to take you on, because I already know that losing weight is hard. I already know that I barely got the time to get in the gym right now. I already know that when I walk in the gym, I just don't want to be there. I already know that being in the gym for me sucks. My mind links gym pain. That's the way it works. Because when I walk in the gym, I know I'm walking out sore, I'm walking out fatigued, I'm walking out, and I'm just not in the best of moods. I get that. I understand that. I understand consciously what I'm signing up for. I have no illusions about what I'm getting myself into. And this is the definition of commitment. So when you look at focus and grit, this is that focus part. This is understanding what you're committing to. This is making a commitment, knowing where you want to go. I want to be around 190 to 200 pounds. So, depending upon how my body looks, we can reshape it or whatever the case may be. When we get closer to that number, I might get to 220 and be like, I love the way my body look at 220. I don't want to be any smaller, because a part of the reason why I've never lost weight is because I've been a skinny kid all my life. I don't want to go back to being the super tall, skinny dude. I just don't want to be that. I don't want to walk around super skinny looking like a pencil. I don't want it. So that's another thing that really slowed me down with really getting serious about working out. And then the third thing, and probably the biggest thing that slowed me down, was I love sweets. Like, sweets are like, it's my kryptonite. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I'm not into, those type of extracurricular activities. My my drug of choice is sweets, which is probably one of the most addictive ones of all, if we're being completely honest. That's me. That's my thing. Sugar and fried foods. That is, you give me some Harold's. If you know what that is, great. If you don't, it's just a chicken place, a fried chicken place that sell wings. You give me a root beer soda and a good movie, and I'm happy. Like that's what I enjoy. So I understand that me telling myself coming into this, oh, I'm finna go cold turkey on everything. That's setting myself up for failure. Like I don't believe that I can go cold turkey on everything. Now what I do believe is when I walk in Harold's, instead of getting the six wing with mild sauce, I can start pulling back and getting a four wing with mild sauce. Instead of going out getting a 20-ounce root beer mug, I can start getting a 12-ounce root beer mug, getting a can. So that way, later on in the day, if I do feel the need and I just gotta kill that craving to have another soda, then I only had a 12-ounce earlier, now I got a 12-ounce versus drinking 3, 4 pops in one day. The other thing I'm doing is intermittent fasting, meaning I have a defined window that I can eat out, and after that window is up, I don't eat anymore. I've been playing around with that for like the last few weeks, and it's been okay. I like it. It's not nothing like it's not super big, but I've noticed when I put constraints on myself, I tend to want to rebel and say I'm not doing it. So I'm figuring out how to get around that. But for the most part, what I want you to understand is we can do anything we want to do. We can have anything we want to have in life. And this is, I know it sounds like a cliche. That's the reason why I'm doing this, because in this journey, you're going to get to see the struggle, the frustrations, the pain, and all that other stuff that comes along with making a decision. And you're going to get to see how grit kicks in for me to continue to lose weight. Because my problem is I get off to a really good start, and then by middle ways, when I think I got it, I stop doing the things that got me there. And then I wind up looking up a year later and be like, man, where could I be today if I would have just continued to do what I was doing? So, by no stretch of the imagination am I saying that you're going to get to see this perfect person, come and go lose all this weight and all that other stuff. This really isn't about losing weight. This is about learning how to mentally take control of your mind and be able to quiet that voice and to be able to push past no matter what you want to do or don't want to do. Because more times than not, I don't want to go to the gym. I know this is going to be a struggle for me. I know I'm going to be turning on the camera on this struggle saying, hey, I just came from the gym. I feel defeated or whatever the case may be. Because truth be told, I'm a big dude. I should easily be able to lift 250 pounds. But I know if I went in the gym right now and tried to lift 250 pounds, 9 times out of 10, I probably couldn't do it because I haven't been lifting weights. I haven't been in the gym. I haven't really been pushing my body. I haven't really been pushing myself. So, with that being said, I have no illusions about the journey that lays ahead of me, especially when I'm in a gym and I see people putting 2, 3, 45 plates on, knowing that just a year earlier I was able to do that, and now I lost all my gains, lost all my strength, and I have to start all over again. And by me being the big dude in the room, people naturally believe I'm strong. So I have those things that I have to deal with. I have the limiting beliefs that I have to contend with. And at the end of the day, to be honest with you, if we're not dealing with some type of resistance from what we're doing, then all that means is we're not pushing ourselves hard enough. Because no matter what level you get to, no matter how far we go in life, no, even when I get the dream body that I want by the end of this series, it's still going to be another obstacle, another challenge for me to overcome. But it's like I say inside of confidence step by step. It's really not, when it comes to building your confidence, you have to build your confidence in you to know no matter what comes your way, you're going to be able to get it done and figure it out. And that's ultimately what this is about. I don't know that much about nutrition. I don't know that much about exercising. I don't really know that much, period, to be completely honest with you. This is just something I've always wanted, and I felt like it was the best way to prove to you once and for all that you can have and do whatever you want to have and do. You just have to learn how to take control of your mind and really focus on where you want and have the grit to go after it no matter what comes your way. All right. So that's what this series is about. That's what this video is about. Honestly, I'm going to be posting a video every single week. I don't know what day. I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be turning on the camera telling you I epically failed today. I didn't go to the gym and here's the excuses my mind gave me. I don't know. Like this is honestly like a real in the raw, you know, come on this journey with me to lose some weight. Now, if your journey is losing weight, great. That means you can do it along with me. And by the end of our journey together, you will hopefully be where you want to be. If your journey is like it was for me just a short year ago, which was having the courage to put myself out there and create my very first product and put it online, then hey, all of this, what you're learning here is not, it's not just a pigeonhole, you got to be losing weight. Our mind doesn't work like that. Our mind works in ways where it's no matter what we want to go after, what the dream we want to go after. For some people, it's as simple as sitting down talking in front of a camera. For other people, is having a one-on-one conversation. For other people like me, is, you know what I'm saying, being out of my comfort zone and being around a crowd of people, or going to a party and talking, or something like that. For all of us, it's something different. But we all have that same common theme, which is if we learn how to control that voice and quiet that voice, we're able to push past and continue to move forward in whatever it is we want to do. And that's what the whole purpose of this is about. I know it's a ton of people out there that talks nutrition. I know it's a ton of people out there that talks about exercise, and I couldn't hold a candle to those people. I don't know the first thing about nutrition. I don't know the first thing about weight loss. I don't know the first thing about any of that stuff. What I do know and what I done got really proficient at is understanding how my mind works. And since all of us as human, we're all governed by pretty much the same lever. Sure, we all have different things that hold us back, but at the end of the day, it's still that same voice that's keeping us stuck and keeping us, preventing us from moving forward. No matter what that voice say to you versus what it say to me. For example, with elevators, I'm not an elevator person. When I go get on the elevator, I'm at the stage now where I can just go do it. But if you give me the choice between stairs and elevators, I'm gonna always choose the stairs. Now, if I'm in a place where I have to take the elevator, okay, cool, fine, no worries, I'll take the elevator. But I still gotta quiet that little voice in my head to tell me, okay, you going to the 47th floor. What you gonna do if this elevator door don't open? See, I have no problem with heights, but me being in confined places and can't get out when I want to get out, I'm not a big fan of that. So understand this. Everybody, no matter who you are, what your ethnicity is, what your gender is, or what goal you want to accomplish in life, we all have that obstacle, that mental obstacle that we need to overcome. And if we can figure out how to overcome the mental obstacle, then getting ourselves to be able to go out and do whatever we need to do becomes a lot easier, because we're no longer governed by that voice that we've been feeding for years, who just don't want to shut up when we're trying to move forward. Some people call it self-doubt. Some people call it self-sabotage. Some people call it, tired, don't feel like it, or I'm bored. I mean, everybody have different names for it, but at the end of the day, it's that voice that we're fighting ourselves with, trying to convince ourselves why we should still go do it. All right. So this is what I need you to understand. What you're gonna learn here is how to take complete control of your mind. And I'm sorry, I've read David Goggins. He's awesome. I've read a few other people that's pretty hardcore. I don't believe that the brute force, get up and go do it now or you're a girl, works for everybody. Didn't work for me. And I listened to David Goggins' book a few times. I even went out and bought the book and read it. In fact, it's right over there on the shelf right now. So what I want to make sure you understand is there are different ways to do the same thing. And I'm not one of those hardcore people. Yes, I do believe sometimes we just need a kick in the pants. No doubt. But I don't believe that me challenging you or name calling you or telling you to stop being a punk or something like that, I don't believe that that is the best way to go about it. It wasn't the best way to go about it for me. Like, I did not finally go out, get off the couch, stop being scared, or stop being in my head, because most of the mental stuff is about being able to get out of our own head. I didn't get out my head because somebody called me a punk. I didn't get out my head because somebody told me that, hey, if you don't do it now, then your world gonna fall apart, this, that, and the other. I didn't get out my head because of that. I got out my head because I happened to be at a conference Tony Robinson was at, and he said something that revealed why I was stuck. And the reason why I was stuck was because I was so fixated on the how. How am I gonna do this, to the point where I couldn't move forward because I didn't know what to do. But when I dropped the how am I gonna do this? And when I dropped the, well, I don't believe I can do this. When I dropped both of those, let both of those weights go, I unshackled myself, and it gave me the ability to just move forward. If I bumped my head on the wall, which I did, if I bumped my head on the stove, which I did, if I bumped my head learning how to put up the website or connecting the merchant account or connecting the website or figuring out how to make the page load faster or figuring out, okay, what's the best approach with getting people in front of it. If I bumped my head on all those different things, which I did, it was okay, because the weight was lifted. I didn't have to know everything, and I didn't have to believe that I can do it. I just wanted to move forward and see what if I can do it? What happens? And I resolved that no matter what come my way, it wasn't gonna stop me, and I was gonna keep going. So once I made that commitment, it was times that I had to walk away from it for a couple of weeks because I was so frustrated. And then something happened in my life that would remind me why this frustration was worth me going through. And I would go back, pick it up, and go back to doing it. So by no stretch of the imagination am I saying this is going to be easy, because it's not. All I'm saying is, once we get complete control our over the mental side of things that we have to do, get past the I'm bored, I don't feel like it, or get past the I'm just not in the mood, or get past the limiting self-talk or limiting beliefs or not thinking that we have the ability to do it, I'm telling you, it will change our world. And I know because I've done it in a specific part of my life already. And you know because there's certain parts of your life that you can look at and you can point to and say, I did that. Like, I can't nobody take my confidence away in that specific area. It doesn't matter if I fail 150 times. I don't care, because I know I can get it. For me, I feel like that with tech. For whatever reason, I was born with the ability to, technology came to me very easily, whether it was figuring out a complicated piece of software like Premiere Pro, or moving from Premiere Pro to DaVinci Resolve, or learning Photoshop, or learning whatever software I needed to learn, or learning whatever piece of tech I needed to learn, or learning the basics of coding to be able to manipulate my website and do whatever I want. All that stuff relatively came to me pretty easy. Not because it wasn't hard, because sometimes it was hard, but at the end of the day, I understood my confidence intact. So if I bumped my head, I broke my website, I would go back to the drawing board. Okay, let me undo whatever I just did, and let me go find a better video explaining to me what I'm missing. At no point did I have a limiting thought say, oh, you'll never get it, you can't do it, or you bored, you wasting your time. Like, I didn't think like that. only thought like that in certain parts of my life, which was one, building a business and being successful, because it was like, why would anybody listen to you? And then two, it was weight loss. Why? You've tried it multiple times. You ain't done it now, you ain't gonna do it. So those was the two areas where my confidence was lacking. But guess what? Once I figured this one out, and again, not because it was super tough or somebody, challenged me and called me a punk and I got off the couch and magically started doing it. Like, that didn't work for me. And I don't think that worked for the majority of the world. Because if it did, I mean, heck, all the fathers that are still in the house that call their kids a chump or a punk when they, lose at basketball or football or afraid to do something, those kids would be rock stars now. So I don't believe that that's the best way to do it. I just don't. And as far as losing weight go, well, that's what we're here to do today. That's the whole purpose. That's the whole journey that I'm inviting you on. You can tag along and watch me, and hopefully over time you begin to see that, hey, the true power lies in the person who can control their mental, the thoughts that bounce around in our head. Sure, we can't control what pop up in our head sometimes, but we can fully control how we react to it, and if we allow that to hook us, or if we allow that fear to get to us. And that's the whole purpose of this series. I want to take you on a weight loss journey to show you that weight loss starts with us just simply making a commitment and having the grit to go through whatever's going to come our way. And through doing that, we build our belief system naturally. We build our confidence naturally. We begin to believe that we can have that dream body. We begin to believe that we can have that physique that when we take off our shirt, the women are looking at us or the guys are looking at us or whatever the case may be. We begin to have that belief. We begin to have that confidence, not because we sat down on the couch and we waited on it to come, but because we simply made the commitment and started moving towards what we wanted. And that's the purpose of this. This is the foundation of how it works. This is what I want to give you. This is honestly, I think if it was ever a superpower, this would be it. Being able to control the mental side of the hard things that we have to do and not allowing ourselves to get stuck or fall into, I'm not sure I can do it, or self-sabotaging, or whatever the case may be. I personally believe that is the superpower. And if we can do that, if we can get to that point, then honestly, everything else just becomes a matter of how long is it going to take for me to get there. And that's how I'm looking at this. No, I'm not going to kid you. I don't believe that I can hit the weight. I don't believe I can have a chest. I've wanted a chest since I was a super skinny kid, weighing like 150 pounds. And back then I was like 6'1". So I've always wanted a chest. I've looked at the other kids, especially when I was in a boys group home. I looked at the other kids like, man, they have a physique. Why don't I have a physique? I want a physique, but it wasn't in the cards for me. And at some point, I just came to that conclusion that it wasn't in the cards for me, and I believed it. And over time, I let it go. So, with that being said, long-winded answer, I know, long-winded video, but I wanted to make sure that I properly set the right expectations for what's to come. So if you have something that you're stuck with, like I was stuck with weight loss, if you have something you're stuck with, then you can follow the link below and you can take me up on my video. It's a free mini course. There's no credit card required. It's just you catching up to speed on where I'm at and how I'm able to get myself unstuck. With that being said, I'm Will from Focus and Grit, and I'll catch up with you in the very next video. Till next time. Later.